MacFeely here, playing some Path of Exile and playing my level 73 Necromancer, Rose Bright Dawn. And currently in town, and I was just going to go over my gear and my build a little bit before I go do this next trial of Ascendancy. I've currently done 2 of them, and I will go ahead and let's just go ahead and go to the passive skill tree so you can kind of see what my skill tree looks like. Obviously starting out here at the bottom, or at the start, got spell damage and casting speed early on, along with minion damage, as I was, I knew I wanted to be a Necromancer. Pretty much the first path I went was straight up here to Lord of the Dead, and that obviously helps you early on for your level 1. If you really wanted a straight path to it early on, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can get at level 8. Increasing the number of zombies and skeletons really helps. And then just straight path on up. Go ahead and pick up this jewel slot here, so you can get a couple of these violent dead jewels you'll want. You're limited to 2 of them, and I do have 2 of them. But it increases your zombie slam attack, cooldown, recovery speed, and then their damage as well. And then up here, and then you're going to take the hard left, and then you're going to come up here to this wheel. And this all has to do with minion damage, life, and then increasing the number of specters, zombies, and skeletons once you get to the top. And then, depending on what kind of Necromancer you want to be, you could be one that stands back and throws out curses. I prefer to throw out AoE fire spells, so I went next to this next wheel here and just picked up all this fire damage. Bam, bam, bam. Breath of Flames. And then the other minion way, or minion skills you can pick up, come over this way. You got a little wheel right here that deals with the minion life and chaos resistance. More minion life, and then Grave Intentions, which again increases your number of zombies by 2 here. And then I needed some strength, so I just went over here and took a plus 30 node just to get a little bit of strength. So I wasn't so gear dependent on it. And then over this way, this wheel over here deals with minion damage, more minion damage, spiritual command, more damage, attack speed, cast speed, etc., etc. Elemental resistances, and then sacrifice. Again, gives them another 10% to all elemental resistances. Gives them more survivability in any game. Down here, I started pathing towards this wheel here, which again deals with more minion damage and attack, and then also some elemental damage if you wanted to pick that up along the way. That's damage, more damage. I thought about coming back here, but over here is another great wheel for your minions. Righteous Army gives them another 20% increased max life, damage, attack and cast speed, redemption gives them just more movement speed, attack and cast speed, accuracy rating, minion damage and accuracy, and then spiritual aid. Increases and reductions to minion damage also affect you. So anytime you pick up a passive or anything that increases the damage of your minions also affects you. So later on, continue taking, let's see, sorry. Here. could take another 6% increased attack damage, and minions increased attack damage. So that actually double stacks, because you get the 6 and then minions get the 6, and because if increases to minion damage affect you, you also get that 6. So that's actually 12. So pretty nice little buffs there. Down here, just a quick little dip off the main branch, a couple of points to pick up another jewel socket where I have my second Violent Dead. And then up here at the top, so pathing over here to this wheel, just off of this branch is some more fire buffs. So I get more fire and burning damage, more chance to ignite. So, and then right here, a little bit of elemental damage, and then another jewel socket. This one here, I've got intelligent, honor curio, increased invasion rating, and then plus 12 fire and lightning resistances. Down here, a little bit closer to home, picked up elemental damage, but then also picked up each of the 3 frost, lightning, and firewalker, primarily for the fire resistance, or lightning and cold resistances. And then this little wheel here is spell critical strike chance. So it's 20, another 25, and then this gives you another 50 increased crit strike chance, which is always nice. Yeah, so that's the skill tree, and then you can see over here too on the way up this way I took another strength bump, because certain gear and gems are going to need a certain amount of strength. Yeah, so that's that, and I'm just going to post the fact that I'm broadcasting this in a couple of spots very fast before I do this trial. So just bear with me 1 second. Well, my phone loads up and all that kind of good stuff. I will turn the volume down. Sure. Okay. One post there. Okay, and then now let's take a look at, before I do this, let's go ahead and take a look at my gear. So the whole thing about Necromancer is you can focus on one or a couple of the different aspects: zombies and specters, skeletons and zombies, or just one. I mean, you could pick just one of them and really concentrate on it. So I'm going more for specters, because specters, when you raise them, are exact copies of whatever you raise. And so the nastier the creature you run into, if you're able to raise it, then you've got yourself a pretty nasty minion. And then again, depending on what you raise, if it depends on physical attacks or if it casts spells, then that's where the casting speed or attack speed comes in. And then your support gems can further assist them, such as movement speed, where you have the minion speed support. And then I always love the summon phantasm on a kill support, because obviously if your zombie or skeleton or specter kills something, has a chance to raise a phantasm, which will then continue forward, attacking and fighting enemies. And so it's a great way to clear a map, especially once you get a bunch of minions up, because they just proliferate on the battlefield. And where you might start off with maybe 10 minions, all of a sudden you've got 20. And then if you're doing something like the if you pick up the Val Summon Skeleton spell, once you get enough souls collected, then it will allow you to summon an army of skeletal warriors. Skeletal warriors, archers, and mages led by a powerful general. And then it can tell you, it tells you there, when I cast that, 33 skeletons come up, 20 skeletal warriors, 8 skeleton archers, 4 mages, and a general. So that's the sort of thing that if I'm delving, I'll come up to the end point, and before I activate the encounter, I will cast the skeletal army, which effectively triples the amount of minions I have. And then I'll start the encounter, and it's just come on in and get wrecked. Let's see, what else am I using? Main gear, I've got Wraithlord Bone Circlet, which plus 2 level to socket gem, minion gems, 125% increased energy shield, minions regenerate 1% life per second, plus 1000 to Spectre max life. In this, I am using my Raised Spectre, supported by a spell Echo support, which, because the specters that I have are spellcasters, allows them to basically double their spell output. And then I've got minion damage support, which again gives them another 50% more damage. And a summon phantasm on kill support. Again, love those phantasms. In my shield, I've got Victoria's Charity. This is essentially the one you're going to want if you're going to run specters. Because of a couple of things. The 20% increased area of effect on aura skills, and we'll get to the aura in a minute, but the 10% chance to grant a power charge to nearby allies on a kill, and the frenzy charge. And then depending on the quality of your shield, might get increased to your elemental resistances, your max life, and lightning and chaos resistance. But it's whatever you're able to afford, or if you want to really save up for one on the market, the 20% qualities can go for quite a bit. So let's take a look at the sockets right fast. Oh, welcome viewer, thanks for watching. In the shield here, I've got Anger, which is the aura you're going to want to run. It's going to grant additional fire damage to nearby allies. Now, because I'm running a generosity support gem, I don't get the effect or the benefit of the added spell or fire damage, but all of my minions do, as well as anybody else I'm partied up with. So non-curse auras from supported skills have a 31% increased effect. So that's really going to help you out to cover all your minions when they're running around the screen or running around off screen doing your bidding. In other words, murdering everybody. And then I had a blue socket left over, so I just threw Flame Dash in here. This is my primary escape spell, but I actually was thinking about switching over to Shield Dash or Shield Bash, something I saw this. You can only use it if you have a shield, and you deal damage to enemies as you're going through. So it's kind of cool. Let's see. Let's take a look at the chest piece right fast. You're going to want Beast Mortis if you're going to run Spectre build, because it gives you a +1 to maximum number of Spectres, obviously. And then again, depending on the quality or the quality of them, you get 10-20%. You're going to get increases to your energy shield above what I have. More mana. I don't know if it affects the minion stats, but I know the increased quality does change the amount of energy shield and max mana you get. And then, of course, minions gain Unholy Might for 10 seconds on kill, so that's a great buff. Boots, you're going to want the Boots of Ullr, or Ullr, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But that's going to give you, if you're going to run zombies or specters, because that gives you a +1 to both. And then obviously, depending on the quality, you'll have increases in your energy shield, life and mana, and movement speed. The enchantment I have on there, 5% chance to dodge spell hits if you've taken spell damage recently, I got from running one of the labyrinths. So that's where that comes from. Gloves, really haven't noticed a specific pair of gloves for necromancy, so it's kind of up to you. These here give me some great armor, cold and chaos resistance, which in the game you're going to want that chaos resistance. And then a belt, decent belt. You're going to want strength, obviously, because you are going to want some decent armor and be able to carry some of this endgame stuff. This one here gives me a great buff to fire, cold, and lightning resistances, and increased flask recovery and all that good stuff. Rings, same sort of thing. You want to keep the resistances up, and unless you invest a lot of passive points in elemental resistances, then you're going to have to make up for it, obviously, with gear. So these give me a lot of buffs to my resistances. I like to find one like this, but with fire damage. But I'll take lightning damage, whatever. Every little bit of damage helps. And then same thing with your necklace. There are some good ones. There's a really good one for leveling. But again, endgame resistances are key. So this one here obviously gives me fire damage, but then also life, mana, lightning, and cold resistances. Right now my fire resistances are kind of jacked. Kind of got jacked up when I got my set wand, chest piece, and shield. And so I'm going to have to kind of figure out a way to find some more gear with more fire resistance on it. But my chaos resistance at least is at negative 10%, which is pretty good. A lot of endgame stuff hits with chaos, and there's just no real good way of just stacking chaos resistance to get it up above positive, because you start off with negative resistances. Okay, let's go ahead and let's try this Trial of Ascendancy one more time. I tried to run it earlier and I got cocky. I didn't have all of my specters up and I got my ass handed to me. So this time through, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious, let's just say. Make sure I got my spells in order here. I got my fire, I got my raw army, flame dash, and I got my aura of hate up. I got my 5 specters. I don't have any zombies, however. I love how that. Alright, there we go. Merciless Labyrinth. Ascend with precision. Yes, we shall see. We shall see. Loading. Current location, yes, of course. Onward and outward. Oh yeah, I just love saw blades. Alright, kill some stuff so I can release some zombies, please. Alright. yourself. And you always die. Ow. And there's number one. Alright. That was just dirty. So one other thing about running the labyrinth is that the more you explore it, the more beneficial things you can find, such as buffs, and additional treasure keys. Yeah, that was a new gem I put in there. Garbage. So I recommend exploring as much as you can, because if you're doing the trial around your level range, then you're only getting experience from it. But you might also find upgraded gear. Oh shit. Oh man, this thing's hurt. Ow. What the hell? Get wrecked, son. And that's kind of the advantage of the Spectre build, is depending on the Spectres that you get, yeah, you just walk through and let them do your dirty work. Now the other thing about it too is if you come up here, you can cast a spell. Wherever you cast your spells, your minions will go. So I just kind of walk along and toss out a flame shower and do their thing. Go over there, guys. Go over there. Go over there. Minion speed. Now that one is for the zombies, and I don't really run zombies because I don't have anything that's really supporting their duration. Not zombies, I'm sorry, skeletons. Skeletons are a duration cast, and you can spec into them because you can raise more skeletons than any other type of minion, but it's a duration thing. So you can spec into it to where your duration lasts a really long time. So when you summon them, they'll last for a while. They are more fragile than zombies. Zombies, obviously, once you raise them up, that's it. You don't have to worry about it unless they die. With my zombies, I've got... I don't know if I went over those gems. Let's go over those gems right fast. For my zombies, I've got, obviously, Ray Zombie. But then I've got minion damage support, which gives them more damage. Then I've got a maim support, which they deal even more damage. They have a chance to maim. Supported skills deal 3% increased physical damage. Enemies maimed by supported skills, they take another 14% increased damage. And then I've got a melee splash support, which now their damages, yes, they're doing 28% less damage, but they're doing 42% more splash area of effect. So they're getting a reduction to damage, they're getting an increase to damage, but then they're also getting a splash effect. So now all that damage that they're doing is now getting splashed around, and you compound that by 9 zombies slamming on a group of targets, and all that splash damage is just splashing everywhere. I mean, it's like, you know, a big pool, and you know, a bunch of raucous kids in there just splashing around, hitting the water. So, fun times. I was just gonna post that I was playing in one other place. Here. Alright. Ooh, it's nice and dark in here. Bad guys. Oh, what the hell? Something's slowing me down. Heaven. Go forth and kill, guys. Where you going? I need to get some more of those elements. And you'll notice that my mana is capped off at half there, and that's because of the aura. The aura of heat. Ah, get out of that splash damage. The other thing when you're running... Ooh, the next charge disruptor you use will reactivate after a short duration. Okay. So yeah, I got stuff like that, and I'm not sure what that is in reference to. Ow, 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 spikes. Ow. Oh. Come on, minions. Go, 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 go. Ah! Agony, something or other. He's dead now. So dark. What do we got over here? So when you're running the labyrinth, depending on what level you're on, you see here you got, it kind of reveals the map and which way you want to go. You want to go from left to right. I think I'm gonna, oh, get her. No, didn't get her in time. Those ghosts, they drop, usually drop a couple of decent items. Ew, dude. Instagram. Continue exploring this area a little bit to see if we can find any kind of a... Ow! Not that. Ow! What the... Oh, that's great. I'm gonna die in here. Oh, I'm gonna die. Fuck. So, if you're doing the labyrinth and you die, you start over from the beginning. That sucked balls. I should have been flame dashing across there. Bloody spikes. Alright, well, I'm going to run some maps. Show you some maps. Alright, so over here in my stash, we'll grab some maps. Let's see. These guys, the sacrifices at dusk and dawn and noon and midnight, those are Vol ruins. So I'm going to run one of those. These are regular maps. Let's see, I'll take that one. That one's magical. That's a 2-3, 2-3. 2-3 should be no problem for me now. Get rid of some of these. And some 2-3 maps. So I'm going to go to my hideout. Come over here to the map device. We'll, let's load up this Fruit Jungle map. Monsters have Faster movement speed, attack speed, and cast speed. Not too bad. I didn't want to open up my map. There we go. So the whole thing about running maps is obviously it just opened up 6 portals, and so you have 6 opportunities to complete it. So don't die. Don't die. That is the motto of the day. Also, if you run any auras and you die, you have to recast them when you respawn. And let's come on through to the other side. And so let's see here. When I'll pop the army. There's the skeletal army. Oh, something hit me. You see all these minions. That's a lot of minions. There is an achievement or a trophy, depending on what platform you play on, for having 75 minions up at one time. Oh, this is fun. I'm not even doing a thing. I'm just walking around. And I've already got that ability ready to go again. So Flame Dash is good for fast movement around the map. Just be careful that you don't Flame Dash into a group of bad guys and die. I've done that. Ooh, something dropped over here. A little orb alchemy. I'll take that. Ow. Why are you hitting me? Doing nothing. Wakey, wakey, Rose is here. Ow. Don't you do that. Alright, you get the army now. You guys mess with me. When you're running maps, you want to make sure you open up all those kind of little...
Still sane, Exile?
Hey, Zayna, how you doing?
These worlds are becoming increasingly
yeah, that's right. And then occasionally you run into her,
let's get to work.
And you'll actually run a map within a map, and so you can choose what kind of map you want to run. I think we're going to go with this one here. 2 unique bosses. Unique boss has 25% increased life. Unique boss has 45% increased AoE. 25% less effective curses. That's okay, I don't run curses. And I have 20% less recovery rate on life and energy shield. And because the rarity is 36, you're going to want to run that over a blue map like this. So we're going to go ahead and run that.
Something on the other side of my map device has gotten a hold of a divination card. One that radiates with enough energy that I can detect it even from here. Find that card and bring it back.
Nice, a divination card. So, you only get 1 chance at these. And if you're playing with somebody, you only get as many portals as there are people. So, it's 1 chance, don't die. So, go on. There it is. There's one at least. Oh crap, holy crap, there's a lot of people. That's a lot of mobs. you get the armor back there. Oh. Ooh, sulfur vents. I haven't seen that. And when you're running maps, it's a good way to get maps. Maps usually drop within maps, and that's how you get higher tier maps. You can also trade in if you have 3 of the same map. You can trade it up for the next tier. I wouldn't recommend that once you get much past tier 4 and 5, because the amount of stuff you'll get out of running 3 tier 5 maps really doesn't make sense to trade 3 of those in for a tier 6. And that's one of the tips I've picked up watching certain videos doing maps. Ooh, man. Oh shit, don't die. Do not die. Holy crap. Come on. Do your thing, guys. Wow, that was close. And I have a mask. There's a hand over here. Oh, no, I just leveled up. Nice. Oh, no. I'm not sure what that does. I think we lived. Oh, there's still bad guys. No, there's still bad guys. Oh, that's a really bad guy. Oh shit, I just died. God damn it. Wow. Son of a bitch.
Every successful expedition buys us a little more time.
Really pisses me off. And I lost the Spectre. Really? She didn't drop anything, huh? That really irritates the fuck out of me that I died. At least I leveled up before I did it. One monster remains, really? That guy. Wow. I didn't flame dash fast enough, I guess. No, there's the monster over there. And I didn't drop anything. Wonderful. Alright. Well, that's maps. Not a very successful fucking run. Let's see. Let's run this. Yep. Cobius. Oh yeah, let me send my point here before I go much further. Alright. Trying to think of what I was. Lightning damage, it's damage. I was thinking I was gonna maybe take. Where's that? Avatar of Fire. So 50% of physical cold and lightning damage is converted to fire damage, and you deal no non-fire damage. So I'm thinking I might do that. Because of my entire build is towards fire. So I'm thinking I might do that. Paradigm shift. Nice. Got a trophy. Cool. Oh, really? No enemies? Oh, this way. You cursed me. I'll kill you. Wow, what the hell? Unbelievable. And the problem is if you die, you lose XP. I don't even know what level monsters those were. And so you see in my lush hideout there, I've got like my crafting bench, my stash, the thing. You can rearrange your hideout however you like. Move stuff around. And you could have everything right there by the portal if you wanted to. Yeah, that was crazy. Ow, it's some kind of nasty poison shit. That's good. Some bushes. Monster level 70, okay. Let's try that then.
I need more mana.
Ew! Yeah, poison damage alone. There's no resistance to poison. So it's just maybe one of those things. Just start popping health pots. Get wrecked. Oh my god. Well, there's all that XP I just earned. It's squishy. That's the whole point of being a spellcaster, I suppose. But I hate losing experience. That's so frustrating. Like, part of it too is my freaking fire resistance is a little low right now. Alright, let's try this again. Well, they got 45%, excuse me, they got 45% increased AoE, so that's not really helping, especially with those explosions or whatever the hell they do. So I'm going to come back this way, the way I came, and finish exploring down this way before I come back and finish that way.
When I'm ready and not before.
Yeah. Let me know this one. Okay, this connects back up the way we died. Okay, here we go. I'm going to connect and then flame dash. Ow! Come on, guys. Should have popped my army, I guess. Essence of Suffering. Ooh, cold damage. Nice. I know somebody who would like that. And then a random Essence of Torment, which is light. I know another person who would like that. Possibly. The only thing about those is you have to enchant white pieces of armor, and there's just no way. Maybe early on, if you were going for a specific build, you could do that. Oh my god, he is the winged death. Oh my lord.
I need more mana.
Okay, so they are dropping stuff, it's just not popping up because I got my loot filter on. It's very strict. So more than 50 monsters remain. That was the boss. Okay, this way. Oh yeah, let's go back to random. Oh no, we did go that way, so we can go back this way. Come on, guys. Say what now? Flamed. Light spike. Get him. Alright. 12 monsters. Over here. Hmm. Let's see.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Oh, there it is. I think that little section down there. Oh, a straggler. One guy just wandering around. Where's all my buddies? You're all dead. Oh my god. I'm so distraught. There we are. That's it. 0 monsters remain. Alright, and now you can just pop a portal and go on back to your hideout. Alright. Let's see. Let's go ahead and... oh, I didn't want to do that. Did not want to do that. Irritating. Oh yeah, if you are running a map, it doesn't matter if you're leveling or where. If you pop a portal and then you die, and then you load back into that area, you will load back in where your portal is. So if you're going to go in to fight a boss and you've got to go through a door basically to get to a separate area, pop a portal outside that door, because if you die and you zone back in, you'll zone back into your portal rather than at the start, and that'll save you from having to run the entire damn map. So now I want the map device. There we go. Let's try. Yeah, let's do a spider layer. That sounds like fun. Spider. Spider layer.
Panic only hastens the venom's passage to the heart.
Ooh, really? Ah, no, no, no. Okay, I need the whole chorus in here. Let's go. We're killing stuff now. Spiders. Spiders hate fire. Ashen wood map. Nice.
I need more mana.
Bramble Cobra. Ooh. Okay, so you notice this item has 6 sockets on it. If you trade that in with a vendor, you get 7 Jeweler's Orbs. I wonder if I can flame dash that. Yes, I can. Not. So, but yeah, you got 7 Jeweler's Orbs. Trade that in. Poison. coworkers, guys. Come on. Do your job. And quit making shit up. Hey, hey, hey. What the fuck? Oh, don't you dare kill me. Son of a bitch. We got the boss here coming up. Yeah, we'll just let the minions do their thing. Oh, Shaper. Oh, fuck. He's gonna come in and change it, make it harder. Oh, boy. Oh, 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 he's doing it again. What the hell is he doing? Why? Why?
No matter. The void will provide.
Oh, what the? So some stuff did drop, but I mean, there's no upgrades for nothing. Yeesh. Now let's see, what was this Headsman's Axe? The Blood Reaper. Item level 72, requires level 45. 188, damn, 100 life, 10 regenerated. That is for a serious two-hander. Alright, so let's clear out the rest of this spider layer. So how in the... Oh, you must get there from the other side, the other side. And there goes my game. Crashing.